Woke up this morning, sunshine through the clouds, feeling the healing, laughter all around. Rise up and stand tall, joy in every stride. No more tears to fall, let your spirit guide. Blessed go summer, shining through the night. Brighter than thunder, you're the morning light. Life keeps on spinning, hold on to your dreams. You're always winning, more than it seems. Hear the drums calling, dancing to the dawn. Keep on believing, strength in every song. Blessed go summer, shining through the night. Brighter than thunder, you're the morning light. Life keeps on spinning, hold on to your dreams. You're always winning, more than it seems. Hear the drums calling, dancing to the dawn. Keep on believing, strength in every song. Blessed go summer, shining.
Hey, welcome to Blessed Girl Summer Podcast. My name is Tisha, and you are joining me as I'm continuing my graduate school chronicles. I have been on a journey to become a licensed marriage and family therapist, and this is me chronicling what that process has been like, right? And so at this point, if you've been following my journey, I'm at the end of my schooling. I have taken my exam and passed it. I've graduated. I am just at the point right now where I'm waiting for my license number. So, I wanted to talk a little bit today about like employment, like what I've been looking for in terms of employment, um, and and why I chose the practice that I chose to work with, like what was important to me. And I think it's important for you to choose what is best for you, right? Like what demographic you're looking to service, what your niche is, being someplace where, you definitely feel like you can grow and you can operate authentically. I think that's important, right? For sure. Um, so for me, um, Oh, let me say, as a licensed marriage and family therapist associate, you're required to have a supervisor. And so you have to have the supervisor for a total of 1,500 hours, client hours that you are able to gather, right, for that time period. I think in my particular state, those are the hours for my state. And then for my state, supervision in total, I need at least 200 hours um, of supervision. And so what I would say is for me, now initially, y'all, I was like, well, I'm gonna start my own practice. I have been around, I've been around. I am 49 years old, so I've done a lot of things. I've had a couple of businesses, and I really couldn't see myself, if I'm honest, like working for somebody else. But the whole internship process really helped me rethink that, right? And even though, well, where I'm going, even though I work under someone, I'm still very much independent, if that makes sense. Because as a therapist, I'm the therapist. I'm like in the room, right? I had to carry my own insurance. I have to make sure my license is my license, and I need to make sure that I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing to maintain my license. And so there's still a level of autonomy wherever you are in terms of what you have to do um, in your role. And so for me, at this stage of the game, I think it's important to go back. So, when I was doing my research to figure out if this was something I wanted to do, well, first of all, I had already made my mind up that this was something I wanted to do. So, this is probably why this didn't matter as much. Um, but I think it's important to know and to consider. So, this this license in the state that I live in is expensive. It's very expensive. I mean, there's the cost of graduate school. But then in addition to the cost of graduate school, depending upon what school you go to, Um, and if you get like any type of scholarship or anything like that, you probably are going to have some student loans, and then or making payments, right? So even if you're not making payments right now, you if you decide you're going to be making payments, they're going to be pretty hefty payments every quarter that you have to pay. In addition to that, um, there are trips. So my program was online. So my in-person residency required me to travel. And so I had two trips out of state for, I think they were like 7 to 8 days. And so I was responsible for, did I have to pay for my room and board? Yes, I was responsible for my room and board, my transportation there. They provided, I think, like breakfast and lunch. So I was responsible for dinner. And then if I stay any days extra, of course, that's all on me. So there were costs continuously. In my previous videos, I talked about study materials. There were costs. One of my preps cost $250. And then I got other books. They were probably like $150 in total. And then to take my actual exam was $370. To apply to take the exam was $50. To get my fingerprinting and my background check, that was another $50. So it's a lot of money. And then the internship, my internship was not paid. So for a full year, I worked as a therapist, but did not get paid for it. So this was a financial strain, financial sacrifice, I should say. I want to say strain and sacrifice. But I knew what I was signing up for before I signed up for it, right? And so I say all that to say, then I was like, well, I don't think that I realized. And so even now, even in the waiting, like and then I had to pay $200 to get my license application. So all this money has gone out and I have yet to make a dime off of this. And so there's a great potential that you're going to end up in a hole before you even get started. And so when I started thinking, I'm like, girl, you just need to work. Like, you can't be two things. I need to work. I don't, there's already so much sacrifice and strain happening to build a business, to build clientele. You have to pay for your LLC. I already got to pay for insurance. Your PLLC, I'm sorry. I already pay for insurance. All the other things that come along with starting your own practice, like paying for your EHR, the software that you're going to be using, and like all that stuff. Like, just more and more and more and more money. Where's the money coming from? Because I've already expended what I had. So so it just was like, it doesn't make any sense. And then I think also after studying and taking the exam and just realizing, being reminded of how much of a responsibility you have as a therapist to people. And I just did not feel confident. I won't say I didn't feel confident. I just did not want to take on additional financial, I did not want to start something from a place of lack, I guess I would say. Meaning there had already been such great sacrifice. I didn't want to start out with more sacrifice, right? You know what I mean? Because I don't think that I would be able to enjoy it as much. I also did not want to be out here by myself. Like, even though you have to have a supervisor, I think it's something different when you're at a practice, you're with somebody else. You can have conversations. You have you're working under someone else, so there's a greater sense of responsibility that they have. Number one, that you do well, that you understand, that you feel supported, like all those things. And so I was just not ready to not have that, right? To not have that lifeline. So that was important for me. Um, so that's why I was like, no, I think I'm ready to just work for someone. Now that was the first thing. The other thing is I really wanted to be someplace where I felt like there was real alignment, where I felt like I could be my most authentic self. And when I say my most authentic self, I could bring my heterosexual self, I could bring my Christian self, I could bring my mommy self. I could bring um, my African American self. I could bring my um, the way that I do therapy, self. I could bring my culture. Like I could bring my full self to the job, and I feel like just being an older learner, I've been in a lot of places where like some things logistically make sense, but just you're still not you just show up and you're not really who you are. You feel like you have to put on, right? And I'm like, I did not make all the sacrifice. I did not change careers. I did not do that to feel like that. I don't want to feel like I have to put on. I don't want to feel like I want to feel connectedness. I want to feel like we're on the same page. I want to feel like we have similar a lot more similarities than differences, and not that, but outside of experience, like I appreciate all the experience that you bring, and I also want to be in a place because the more comfortable I feel, the more I can learn, the more you can share with me. And I also wanted that like covering, so to speak, where like someone who's been doing this for years and been in this space and experienced so many different things, and I don't feel intimidated coming asking you things. I don't feel like a bother coming and asking you things. I don't feel like I'm gotta like try to figure out the landscape to like ask you things. You know what I mean? Like I just did not want that. I also did not want to be burnt out. I did not want to be in anybody's rat race. And depending upon where you work, somebody's delivering a package. Sorry. Depending upon where you work, you may have you may have that. Like, the game, like you make this mark, you do this, you make this, and you get this extra and you get that extra. And I didn't want to be caught up in a rat race. Um, and so God just opened the door. I think I know that this is something that I've been called to and an assignment that I have on my life, because since I've said yes to the call, doors have just been open for me. And so I have really had, even though there was a lot of financial sacrifice, even though there was a lot of focus that I had to give to this, I have just really been favored. I feel like I've had a lot of favor. I had a really great internship. I had a really great job offer, and our place that I'm joining, and it meets all the criteria that I mentioned before. And so it has just been really, really good. So I would say it's really important, especially for the type of work that we'll be doing, right? We'll have to show up for people in some of their toughest moments, and we'll also need to be really present, really there, and supporting them in multiple times a day. You want to be in an environment. I think it's a necessity for me, right? It's a necessity for me to be in an environment where I feel like my full self, like I can fully be me. I need that in order to do what I do. And so, yeah, I would encourage you, if you're trying to figure out, first, of course, also like, does it align with your niche, the things, right? Is this a person that whoever you're linking with, um, do they meet whatever needs you have in terms of like money? Do they meet whatever needs you have in terms of like the clientele that they take? Um, in my case, my the practice owner is also my supervisor. And so do we have the same like do what type of modalities do we use? Do we think similarly, or am I looking to learn something new, right? Or something different? And so all of those questions you really need to ask yourself, before you, I would say, before you decide on where you want to work and what you want to do. How many hours am I required to do? How many hours do I want to do? What's my availability like? Like all of these different things, I think I had spent a lot of time thinking about prior prior to. Y'all clearly see I do a lot of thinking. So I had spent a lot of time thinking about how I want my life to be, and how this change, what I not only how I wanted to impact others, but how do I also want it to impact me and how I live and who I am. And so there is this balance that was needed for me to be able to do what I do and to do it from a place of not being burnt out. And so I would encourage you in that. Um, yeah, I think that that's it in terms of like what I looked for when I was at an employer. Um, for me, again, like I said, the opportunities came to me. And oh, this is another thing. So while you are in your internship, network with people. And I don't, when I say network, I don't mean, oh, I'm going to go, and you can do this. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't. But I'm going to go to this therapy conference, or I'm going to go to such and such, and I'm just going to like meet people and pass out my card if you have a card or whatever. That's nice. But I think, especially at the practice that I was at, there were multiple therapists. When I was interning at, there was like, I think there was like almost anywhere between 35 to 40 because people would come and go, whatever. But there were a lot of therapists there. And then, when you're doing coordination of care, you get to interact with other therapists outside of your practice more than likely. Um, so and co-therapy opportunities. So just I think being really flexible to work with other people, to get to know other people. There were times I was like, hey, I hit people up like after seeing people like often in the office. I might say, hey, you want to go out and get some coffee or some tea or something on a weekend or something like that, and kind of get to know people. When people are like asking for certain resources and asking for different things, and if you have those resources or if you can help, be the help, right? Have the conversations, get to know people. I've done plenty of Google chats and plenty of Zooms with folks, talking to them, just getting to know them, listening. That's what we do all day, right? Talking and listening to each other. And so do that with your colleagues too, because I got this position because someone that I knew that I had networked with referred me. And so I didn't even look for it, look for the job. And it was like the person would, I guess, the person had explained what they were looking for. The other person knew like who I was and felt like it would be a good fit. And then we just connected. And then that was it. Like it was no, it was nothing. And so I can't stress how important I think that that is. Sometimes you want to get in a silo, or sometimes you want to, um, you're too busy. A lot of things are going on. I would just say during your breaks, when you're not in school, when you have that break from school, connect with people, especially because you're still seeing clients more than likely, unless you've taken a vacation. But you're still seeing clients, so you're still working even though you're not in school. And so I would say continue to continue to do that. Make sure that you are building connections and bridges with other people, because it is a big it is a big industry, but also in some ways I feel like it's small. And so when you get to know people and you get to know people's ethics and the way that they work, their work ethics, and you see the type of work that they do, and the type of therapist that they are, people are always going to have referrals. And when somebody comes in their office that you would be perfect for, they're definitely going to refer them to you. And so I think that that's really, really important, not just for finding work, but also for getting clients, right? And so that's my advice. So I hope you all have enjoyed this process. Let me know if there's something else you want me to specifically talk about. Um, because I think this is like the end of the Chronicles. Like, um, I guess maybe I'll come back on after I got licensed. And I don't know if there's going to be much to talk about about that, but if you have a question, be sure to let me know. I guess I could come like, well, it will be later. Come back on and like do like a day in the life or something. Maybe I'll do that. But for now, good luck in all of your ventures. I hope that this has been super helpful for you. Please share with your friends, other people you know that are in school and pressing through. If this is going to be an encouragement to them and help them through, I'm all for it. That is my hope. that this does that because I felt like I needed more of it and I didn't see it. I'm a visual person, so I like to see, I like to get a feel. So I think as I'm talking about that, I will do a day in the life because that was also helpful for me to keep me motivated on the days where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I would watch the different therapists' day in the life so it could remind me of what I could have, where I was going to, and what it could look like. And so I do want to do that for you all too. All right, y'all. Talk to you later.
Woke up this morning, sunshine through the clouds, feeling the healing, laughter all around. Rise up and stand tall, joy in every stride. No more tears to fall, let your spirit guide. Blessed go summer, shining through the night. Brighter than thunder, you're the morning light. Life keeps on spinning, hold on to your dreams. You're always winning, more than it seems. Hear the drums calling, dancing to the dawn. Keep on believing, strength in every song. Blessed go summer, shining through the night. Brighter than thunder, you're the morning light. Life keeps on spinning, hold on to your dreams. You're always winning, more than it seems. Hear the drums calling, dancing to the dawn. Keep on believing, strength in every song. Blessed go summer, shining through the night. Brighter than thunder, you're the morning light. Life keeps on spinning, hold on to your dreams. You're always winning, more than it seems.